That said, you know, we talked about this before. It's like when that mountain's in front of you, how do you get to the peak? Well, you don't worry about the peak just yet. Your first step is this, and then you're gonna put the other foot in front of the other, and you keep it going. And eventually, you know, where you're into this thing, and we've got organic garments for men, a couple different styles, a couple more on the way. And before you know it, you kind of just are a little bit more well-versed, and we're not experts by any means, but we're students of the game, students of life, and we're just trying to figure it out and put the pieces together as we go.
I love it. Yeah. Everything's figure outable, especially with an internet connection these days. It sounds like you guys are doing that. But you said something there, and I want to touch on this and hear your perspective on it, because it is a big risk. It was a big risk. I'm sure you've got a lot of skin in the game, a lot of sweat equity, a lot of time. You're all in. What has that taught you about you as a human? Like, what's it forced you to confront? What has it taught you about life? Like, I believe everything is our teacher, right? And if you're going to go all in on something like this, and it really goes like you want it to, it usually costs twice as much, takes twice as long. It's going to bring out your lower self. You're going to be like dealing with all kinds of stuff. What's been some of the things that you guys have had to work through, either in your relationship, you know, because you started as best buds, and I guess sometimes business can either strengthen that or destroy it. What has it taught you personally? Has it forced you to confront maybe some limiting beliefs? And what's it just taught you about life doing this?
Yeah, I would relate back to what you just said. Everything's figure outable. So like every time there's a hiccup in the road, one, it's always going to be an opportunity to just kind of grow, either whether it's as people, as business owners, as friends, whatever it is. There's always a way to push on, whether it's a business hiccup, right, or a personal hiccup. There's just always opportunity to grow from that. So I guess one of the biggest takeaways is just like, stuff's going to happen. You can always make it work in your favor if you're willing to be unrelenting and unwavering in your goal and decisions of what you want to do. So it's been a big confidence builder for sure.
Yeah, I would say that on the relationship side of things, we have a good working relationship and a good professional or personal relationship, because we're kind of no nonsense straight shooters, right? And with that, whenever there's an issue, if there is an issue that comes up, I remember there was one situation that I'm thinking of right now where we were outside of the gym. We had just been in the sauna. We were talking about something. We disagreed on it, and we came outside of the gym, and we were like still not to a resolution. And it was like, all right, we're not getting in the car until we're just face to face and we're talking this thing through to a solution. Came to the solution very synergistically, and it just made sense. And it was like, that's how we kind of handle all of our problems. If there's an issue, face to face, let's talk through it and figure it out. And like those uncomfortable conversations are uncomfortable for a reason, because they're going to lead to growth. So they're going to improve us as men. They're going to improve us as businessmen. They're going to improve the business and the brand. And at the end of the day, right now, that's the most important thing, is keeping NADS and the mission for the people out there, you know, at center focus for us right now.
Yeah.
But with that, on the struggles and the triumphs of growing the business and figuring it out from 0 to 1, a lot of sacrifice, right? Friday nights, Saturday nights in, when everybody's out doing their thing as young people, it's, you know, heads down, looking at things that, quite frankly, a year ago, I never thought I'd be looking at, right? And now I wouldn't have it any other way. And I'm not sacrificing as much currently because we've now gotten this thing to a little bit of a bigger point. But those first 8 to 10 months of this thing were just an all-out sprint of just trying to figure out different things. And it was like, I had this joke where it's like, what is entrepreneurship to you? Well, entrepreneurship is a checklist of things. And just when you think you're going to get through it, it gets 5 times bigger. More and more problems come up, which call for more and more solutions and more creativity. And with that, and with a good partner and a good team in place, you can do anything.
Yeah.
Right? Just keep digging in and digging in and digging in. And the difference between an idea that I've had in the past and this is that we haven't stopped at anything, and we keep going. Even if it seems like there might not be a solution, we keep going until we figure it out, and every time it works out.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
I always say there's no growth in comfort and no comfort in growth.
I love that.
And you've got to get comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Exactly.
And I think it's huge to have someone you can do it with. Like I've been kind of like a one-man band for a little while, and you know, it's cool, but I think competition is really powerful. You know, that lone wolf mentality can only take you so far. And I'm glad that you guys are mature enough, you know, to not strangle each other, to hash it out, to figure it out. And I'm sure as those challenges grow, there'll be times where you're going to butt heads, but 2 heads are better than 1, as they say. How do you guys think your dynamic works, like in terms of what roles you've started picking up, and who's yin and yang in certain areas, and how do you balance each other out?
Yeah, it's pretty funny touching back to what we were just talking about, like 2 seemingly like alpha guys, but for some reason we're always able to come to a solution on something one way or another. Dan definitely started and took over with the marketing and strategy brain, because that's kind of his background. I fall into the more financials and the operational, but at at the same time, like we're both wearing the same hat. It kind of feels like we're all doing everything. We definitely have our more niche areas of the business, but that's how it's kind of laid out.
Cool. Hello, friends. If you enjoyed that clip, then you can watch the entire thing by heading to this link over here, or you can find us wherever you find podcasts by searching Radical Health Radio. If there's value here, please hit that like button. Let us know in a comment what your biggest takeaway was, and hit subscribe. Support the show as we support you. We'll see you soon.